to know, people want to know, is Dillon Gabriel done or what? Yeah, it's a lot of speculation to answer that question. Is Dillon Gabriel still going to be a factor, or does Dillon Gabriel get a chance to recover? That's my question. I know a lot of people, they don't want to talk about it right now because they're about to see some greatness. I think there's enough people who have seen what has transpired in the last 7 days know that they don't even want to listen to any podcast anymore. They don't want to listen to any more live feeds. They don't want to interact anymore because what they did not want to happen is about to happen. Period, point blank. What they didn't want to happen is about to happen. And so now the question is, what is the future of Dillon Gabriel? Because it's clear that Kevin Stefanski does not have the keys or the wheel to the ship anymore. So I don't know who's going to save Dillon Gabriel now. Kevin Stefanski, uh, you know, Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel was pretty much joined at the hip. And now that Kevin Stefanski no longer has the leadership, this is his second year in a row giving up his play calling ability. And so nobody is believing nothing that Kevin Stefanski is saying right now. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this shit right now, but it's setting up for what people probably never thought was going to happen. They hoped that the collusion was a thing to where Shador wasn't going to play. But we heard some new news today that Kevin Stefanski said that when Shador got into camp that this was going to be somewhat of a red shirt year for Shador. Now, me, myself, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But why not just come out and say that instead of having everybody speculating whether or not Shador Sanders is ever going to play? And if he's not going to play, then okay, let him not play. But let that shit be known. So I think a lot of games is being played with that because if you're looking at it that way, then you can look at this shit in a whole nother light. You ain't got to look at it as nobody trying to sabotage him, but you knew from the jump that he wasn't playing, period, point blank. We understand that now, that Kevin Stefanski never, ever planned on playing Shador Sanders. But that's the first time I ever heard of that shit. The very first time that I heard of that shit. So with that being said, Kevin Stefanski playing a lot of goddamn games. And I just don't know. I don't know if Dillon Gabriel can recover from this. If Shador Sanders plays good, I don't think that Dillon Gabriel returns ever as a starter for the Cleveland Browns again. I think that's it for him. You know what I'm saying? You've been holding the star power back. I ain't saying for sure for a fact that Shador Sanders is going to go out here and throw a knockout game, but if he looks anything close to good or exciting, we ain't got to never worry about seeing this cookie cutter bullshit ever again. We don't never have to see Dillon Gabriel running around, dinking and dunking up and down the field and not really, making no type of waves, 7 passes for 62 yards. What the hell is that? That's not going to get it done. What we need is somebody who can throw a 40-yard strike down the middle of the field like Shador Sanders came in the game and did. Yeah, I know he played bad. He played horrible. He didn't do a great job. Overall, it was not a good outing. But if you know sports, then you can say, hey, I didn't see him do what, people probably wanted him to do. But for what he was up against and what his circumstances was, I think you understand that if he gets these reps, then it's going to be a whole nother situation. It ain't going to look like that. Now, you got some people that say he going to go out here and he going to look like shit again. I beg to differ. No way. I don't think he goes out here and he fucks up again. And I don't even want to say he effed up. I want to say that he did what he could do based on what the circumstances were. Nobody in sports is saying that, okay, that was cool. You can go ahead and you can have your backup, and he might not get no reps. But when your starter is a rookie and your backup is a rookie, they both got to get some work because somebody might not be it. And I believe that before the season, everybody knew that Gabriel was not it, but they tried to force feed him just to say that Sanders was not going to play. Because it could have very well been Gabriel that was not going to play. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if y'all heard this, but Stefanski came out and said that it was going to be a red shirt year for Shedeur Sanders. Do y'all know that shit changes everything? That changes everything. That is not what was fed to the public. It was said that it was going to be a battle for whoever was going to be the starting quarterback. And it was going to be a fair, all of the quarterbacks in the room, all of these goddamn quarterbacks, a million quarterbacks in the room. My man said if that O-line block pretty good, it's on for 12. He's going to ball out for sure. Ain't no question about it, man. Double tap that screen when you come into the light, man. Ain't no question about it. If they block for him, he gonna ball out. But what I'm saying is we're now finding out that Kevin Stefanski, this dude said that he plans to redshirt Shedeur for the whole year. And what the hell is that based on? That ain't based on saying he wasn't ready. That was based on saying he's not going to get him ready. He's going to let him watch for a year. I say that if that's the case, that's fine. But why the hell do you got all these people in the stands talking about 12, 12, 12, and you know you're not going to play the man? That's the bullshit that I'm talking about. Why would you do that? You just tell, you know what I'm saying? Let them know. Be real. The fact of the matter is he wanted people to have their hopes up and Shedeur to have his hopes up, knowing goddamn well you was not going to play him at all. And now look what the hell happened. He playing anyway. So anybody who thought that they was not going to be able to stop this kid from getting on the field, maybe if you would have left this shit alone, he would have never got on the field. But because they tried their hardest to basically just mishandle him. They tried their hardest to mishandle him. So now that they did that, look what's happening. Now he's about to go out on the field and he's going to ball out anyway. And I want to really know what is the reason that you said you wanted to redshirt the kid for the whole goddamn year. What was the reason? Because like I said, you got a lot of things at stake that to me are being taken and snatched from them based on they didn't want him to be rookie of the year. That's why they didn't want him to play from the get-go. They didn't want him to be the number one draft. That's why they drafted his ass in the 5th round. They didn't want him to get that big contract. And when you in the 5th round, ain't no way you get no contract. Double tap the screen, man, and share this live, man. Let's get it out there. They did not want this boy to succeed. And, from the looks of it, the way it's set up, he about to ball out. I ain't going to say he's going to fix everything that he needs to work on in 1 week. There's no way. That's impossible. But I'm guaranteeing that he is going to look much better than what he did with no direction, no nothing. No reps, no nothing. And so, like I said, for all the people that's running around saying that, Dan Orlovsky and all those guys who say that, hey, when you're a QB2, you don't get no reps. Man, it depends on who you behind. If you behind somebody that's going down or somebody that has some nagging injuries and they know that this guy might go out, then guess what you got to do? You got to goddamn prepare the backup or prepare whoever's there. You only got two goddamn quarterbacks. One is fucking struggling really, really bad on the field, and you know he's struggling really, really bad on the field, but you don't have nobody. Like, what kind of responsibility is that of a coach to have two quarterbacks after you had four quarterbacks or five quarterbacks in the beginning? How in the hell do you end up with one quarterback, man? Double tap that screen, man. Let me know what y'all think is going to be the outcome of Shedeur Sanders' first NFL start with the Cleveland Browns this Sunday versus the Las Vegas Raiders. What y'all think? What do you think in the chat? Double tap the screen and let me know, man. Type a 12 on the screen if you support Shedeur Sanders. God damn it. Type a goddamn DG in the screen if you support Dillon Gabriel. That's how we doing it today. Double tap that screen. I need some double taps, y'all. Let's get the numbers up in this chat. Because it's time. It's Shedeur time now. And I notice a lot of people don't want to talk. A lot of people don't want to, they don't want to do the debating and the back and forth right now. They just sitting back watching and they biting their nails wondering what's going to happen when this boy really, really, really gets the attention that he needs and deserves. It's about to be some smoke in the city of Cleveland, Ohio. And, hey, don't chuck your asses now because the shit is about to go down. Shedeur Sanders is about to ball out. And when it comes down to it, like I said, you should have just left him alone. If you was going to redshirt him, you should have just said, you know what, Shedeur, we're going to redshirt you this year. We're going to let you watch. And you could have just said that in the press conference. People would have left it alone. 12 going to play next year or whatever. That means that they're planning the future for him. But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to play around and act like, oh, shit, well, this is going to be a battle. This is going to be a battle. It's going to be fair. From day one, this is going to be a battle. That's what they said. Y'all remember that? God is good all the time, a.k.a. cornbread. Listen, man. They should have just said what they was going to do. They should have just said, hey, man, what we're going to do is we're going to develop Shedeur Sanders. This is our future, and we're going to develop him. But no, they said it was going to be an all-out battle. And when it's an all-out battle, you don't put in Dillon Gabriel. You don't put all your eggs in the basket of Dillon Gabriel. I don't believe that's what you do. No, that's not what you do. And you don't have to throw Shedeur Sanders in there neither, but you keep Joe Flacco. How about that? So I'm saying, do y'all think that Dillon Gabriel can recover? Because we all know that if Shedeur Sanders comes and balls the hell out, Coach Stefanski is no longer a lifeline. He really just out there calling timeouts and challenge flags. What happened to Shedeur when he got his chance last week? Well, you seen what happened. It was a rough day for Shedeur. You tell me what happened. You know what I'm saying? But what's going to happen this week is something totally different. Now, let me ask you this, Ernie Johnson. What do you think is going to happen this week, Ernie Johnson? That's the question. Double tap that screen when y'all coming to the live, man. We got a hot topic, hot debate, and we got people in the chat who says, what happened to Shedeur last week when he got his chance? Why didn't Shedeur look good last week? Let's talk about it, folks. Does anybody have an answer to that question that Ernie Johnson just asked? He says, what happened when Shedeur got his chance last week? You want to answer yourself, Ernie, or you want me to answer you? What happened to Shedeur last week was this. Shedeur Sanders had a very rough day. He came out. For whatever reason, they decided to go to the pass. And Shedeur Sanders completed 2 passes. His next pass was incomplete, and they went 3 and out. Now, what I got to say about them going to Shedeur Sanders in the pitch was The first half, Dillon Gabriel only threw the ball 7 times, which tells me that Dillon Gabriel is not trusted to throw the ball, Ernie Johnson. Hold on, give me a chance. Dillon Gabriel, they don't trust Dillon Gabriel to throw the ball because he only threw the ball 7 times for 62 yards, which means he wasn't really throwing the ball. He was pitching the ball just past the line of scrimmage, and they might get a few yards. But Dillon Gabriel is not trusted to take the pass because if he was, they would let Dillon Gabriel throw the ball. They really don't let him throw shit unless they decoy everything and he can throw it to an open spot on the field. But when Shedeur Sanders got into the game for some reason, all of a sudden they went to the pass. They passed the ball 17 times and they trusted him to pass the ball 17 times down the field. Now, little dinks and dunks. Now, Ernie Johnson says Raiders are trash. You're going to get overhyped by Shedeur's performance against them. Deshaun better take his job the moment he gets healthy. All right, y'all. So Ernie Johnson got some inside information, obviously, on what's going on with the Cleveland Browns locker room. And Ernie Johnson is saying that Deshaun Watson may be coming back into the chat to compete for the job versus Shedeur Sanders. Now, I think that Deshaun Watson coming back into the fold will bring an interesting dynamic when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and this crazy situation with the Cleveland Browns. But what I will say about that is I think they hate Deshaun Jackson more than they don't like Shedeur Sanders. Based on, they got a history of a lot of crazy stuff going on. So, Sakima Bay says, Gabriel sucks very bad. And Clarence Shannon says, he opened the game with a pass, a.k.a. cornbread. Hey, man, shout out to Clarence Shannon, man. Hey, so if Deshaun Watson was to come back into the fold, man, that would be crazy. But I believe that I don't think Deshaun Watson is ever going to play in the NFL again. I truly don't. Double tap the screen, man. We're in this joint talking about what's going on with Dillon Gabriel and can he get back into the fold as the QB1? And I think it is going to be an uphill battle for Deshaun. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Dillon Gabriel as long as Shedeur Sanders plays good. Now, I believe that is what's going to happen wholeheartedly. I think if he looked what he looked like with no reps, I believe that what he looks like with reps are going to be a far cry from what Dillon Gabriel was doing with his starting position, a.k.a. cornbread. That's the word for the day, y'all, a.k.a. cornbread. So, I don't see. I think this is going to be such an uphill battle for Dillon Gabriel, and he's going to be hit with the reality that he was used as a pawn in this whole game. Now, if Shedeur goes out there and bombs, then I know Dillon Gabriel is going to end up back as the QB1. But I just don't see that happening. I don't see Shedeur going out here and bombing the way Dillon Gabriel bombed. And you can't even call Dillon Gabriel a bomb, to be honest with you. Ernie Johnson says, Deshaun paid to be the man this year, next year, either way. They need to play him like a effing superstar. Play calling so trash last year, Stefanski out of there. Not as much pre-snap penalties. Yeah, Stefanski definitely got to get the hell out of there. Stefanski is out of there. I don't think there's no way Stefanski survives the year. No question about it. Stefanski is out of there. Now, tell the truth, my brother. Tell it like it is, a.k.a. cornbread. That's my nickname, a.k.a. cornbread. There it is. So, what I'm basically saying is, man, the fight for Dillon Gabriel is going to be so hard because unless Shador goes out of here and bombs, I think Dillon Gabriel is going to fade to the shade. I don't think it's a way that he comes back, and that's and one of those reasons is because Kevin Stefanski has been outed. He is no longer in the driver's seat. He is no longer in control. This is his second year in a row giving up play calling. I don't know what kind of tactic that is, but in my book, he pretty much gave up the driver's seat. Let's read some of these chats. Victoria Harris says he has never practiced with the first team. So what do you expect? That's right. She is absolutely right. Ernie Johnson said, Eddie Murphy life, you can't have my cornbread. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Double tap the screen. We got people in the chat that's listening in about the Cleveland Browns and the excitement that everybody has going into this game Sunday versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And we expect Shador Sanders to have a much better game than what he had last week. Jamal Weeks, big ups to Shador. His harvest will come. Man, shout out to Jamal Weeks, man. He's been rocking with me for a few now. Ernie Johnson has been rocking with me, too. We ain't always seen eye to eye, but he definitely been rocking with me. And shout out to everybody else that's in the chat, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We live right now talking about what's going on this week. Likes should match the views, guys. I agree. Double tap that screen for me, y'all. It's real easy, and it definitely helps out the channel, man. And it brings more people in here. Let's run the numbers up right here while we got it going. Shit, we at 40 right now. We just over 40. Let's get it. Jabird McCloven says, 1 week of reps isn't really a lot. So if they don't win Sunday, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, true. I agree. But he got to look better than what the hell he did last Sunday. That's all I'm saying. With the reps, I believe he should. If he don't look no better with the reps, then it's a goddamn problem. And shit, then, the narrative will change for sure. If he looked the same way this Sunday, I ain't going to be running around talking about yada, 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 12. I'm still going to support him. But I'm going to say, hey, man, we got some work to do. You got to be honest with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for the Gabriel people. That goes for, whoever. If you're looking at the clear picture and you see that somebody needs some work, then that's what it is. It ain't no way around it. Ernie Johnson says, I expect better. I expect better than 4 out of 16. Either way, hopefully, he's just bridging to Deshaun to eventually start. Please never start Dillon ever again. I know that shit, right? Jamal Weeks said, the way he moves around in the pocket should told them all they needed to know. Poised, calm, mature. I agree. I definitely agree, man. It was some things he did that when you look, you said, man, he looked like a leader. He looked like somebody that, if he had the right guidance and the game plan was built for his attributes, then ain't no question about it. The boy is going to play well in the NFL, and I believe that, like I said, what they wanted to do was cap him out for the year. They wanted to redshirt him in so many words. They said that this will be a red shirt of sorts for Shador this year. Now, that's a very important detail that they left out. Would y'all agree? Double tap, goddammit. That's a very important detail. Very important detail. You can't leave out the fact that you're going to redshirt somebody for the year and let them learn. But what they didn't, I think the reason they didn't want to say that, and that could be bullshit, y'all. Let's not forget that they've been lying the whole goddamn time. Let's not forget that they've been lying the whole goddamn time. Double tap the screen when you come into the live. If you just got in here, man, we talking about the Cleveland Browns and what is going on with this fiasco, and it's starting to get ironed out a little bit, and there's some heat hitting down on this month, but we still trying to get all of the facts. What's the excuse for 4 for 16 and getting sacked multiple times? It was only twice. I can't defend, bruh. And Victoria says he should be given the same grace that they gave DG. What's up with that, Ernie Johnson? Should he be given the same grace? Because right now, what we know is that he ain't been getting what he's supposed to be getting. He has not been given no type of act right when it comes to the future or being prepared. Because when he was third string, all right, we could say no reps. We could say no reps at third string. But God damn it, at second string, you're the next man up. So if Dillon Gabriel fucking catch a cold, that means that Shador has to play. And he has to be ready. And we have not seen or heard anything that would suggest that they had this man ready. DG ain't got no grace. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have the man prepared. Man, he only played 2 quarters. Loosen up, haters. Erkin Jerk 84, shout out to you in the chat. They handed my boy a fixed deck and expecting him to ball out. They're clearly sabotaging Shador to save face, in my opinion. It's a lot of different things we can look at, man. It's a lot of different aspects and facets to this whole thing. But what I'm seeing is all being put on Front Street in front of the entire globe, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is watching this. And so when it comes down to it, like, some of the shit that Stefanski revealed in some of these recent interviews, that he was going to red shirt Shador for the year, you got to ask yourself why. I certainly agree that they did him dirty, and I don't want to sound like I'm on that side, but as a Deshaun fan, I can't defend no one playing below superstar level. Deshaun better come back and drop 30. Yes, sir. Even ESPN reporters were asking these questions. You're damn right they was asking these questions, man. Double tap that screen for me, folks. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. And, yeah, man, I need all y'all feedback, man, because this shit is very entertaining, but at the same time, we getting somewhere with it because we following the whole goddamn thing. And if I got to be the one that break the whole thing down, you know what I'm saying? Because it get fishy when you say, oh, well, you can't give the second string no reps. Because I heard Dan Orlovsky say that shit, and I'm like, hold up. Cam Newton sitting right here, he's saying that his second string definitely got reps. And there's a lot of people that's saying the same thing. Their second string got reps. So, I guess different coaches got different shit going on. But if you're not having everybody on that team that could possibly play or be next up to play, prepared to play, then you ain't doing your goddamn job. And that's just what it is. There's no way around it. Motherfucker talking about organizational malpractice. I ain't never heard that in my life. I thought the word malpractice was reserved for certain things and not goddamn football. But damn. Ernie Johnson says, to save face, explain that. Shador is trash from everything I've seen, and y'all making excuses about him not having starting reps does not sound encouraging about his chances going forward. I don't agree with that, Ernie Johnson. I'll be honest with you. Like, I heard Shannon Sharp, and this is a Pro Bowler. This Shannon Sharp ain't no meat and potatoes, you know what I'm saying? Shannon Sharp ain't no gum under the bleachers. This dude is a Pro Bowler. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a NFL, 2-time NFL champion, or 3-time with 2 different teams. And he says he could not imagine not having any first team reps and going out and playing with the team that he played with as a starter. That's what he said. Sure, Ernie, the Browns never wanted Shedeur. By not giving him reps, throwing him into the Wolves, it shows us a lot. I agree. But Ernie, you heard what I said about what Shannon Sharp said, the great Shannon Sharp. Whether you like him or not, he was a hell of a football player, and he said he could not imagine going into a game as a tight end and not having first team reps with the guys that he's going to be out there playing with. So you got to understand this, man. Y'all saying what y'all saying, and I respect what you're saying. I respect your opinion. But when I hear Shannon Sharp say something totally different, and I hear Cam Newton say something totally different, and I hear, what's his name? Playing for the San Diego Chargers, Merle Hodge, or whatever this dude's name. I can't even remember his damn name. But he said the same shit. And Mike Greeny off the off the show, man, these dudes know what the hell they're talking about. So I can't listen to nobody who's not on that level saying that who cares that he didn't have reps. Because this man is the quarterback, not the tight end. This man is the quarterback, not the running back. And these people are saying that they could not imagine not having reps and going to play in an NFL game on Sunday and play any type of good. The hypocrisy is so obvious, bro. People who don't see that don't know football. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I've been known to lose my cool in some of these lives, but you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate on all of what I would call nonsense or hypocrisy. But bring it on, man, because I'm trying to tell y'all that y'all about to see, and if you're saying that, okay, you think he's going to play good against the Raiders. He's going to play much better. It ain't no question about that. Nobody in their right mind would sit here and think that from the details that you heard, and the sports world was shocked that Shedeur Sanders never took a snap from the real starting center. The real front line never heard his cadence, ever. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. Double tap that screen when you come into the live, man. We got 41 people in the chat, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get these numbers up, man. Real creator, live, broadcast. Let's talk about it. I don't see Dillon Gabriel ever being the starter unless Shedeur Sanders gets hurt. That's the only way. Shedeur Sanders going to have to come off the field for Dillon Gabriel to ever see the field for this team again. Jamal Weeks says, I just wish we had him. I just wish we had him, the Broncos. Either Bo will play better, or we replace him with 12. I feel you. And listen, he will go good down that joint, too. And Denver would treat his ass right, because Denver ain't no, you know what I'm saying, no ass backwards organization. Denver treat their people good. A lot of sports franchises treat their people good, but Cleveland Brown, Jesus, they got to get this shit together. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what you say. If you know sports, you got royalty in your building. You got to treat it that way. And to not let royalty play for the first year, that ain't really treating him bad. But don't have your shit being a competition and you playing on red shirt because you playing with everybody goddamn emotions, intelligence, and all that shit. That was you see what I'm saying? Like that's in my opinion. They might think it ain't no big deal. But that shit lacks integrity to tell everybody that it's gonna be a fair competition for the quarterback slot. This man go out there and ball. You know what I'm saying? See, now all this shit that everybody keep on saying, he played like shit in the preseason, like they forgot that he threw touchdowns or they ignored. Basically, people took the Carolina game and erased it. it didn't happen. And because the Rams game happened and he played like, he played like the people that they put him out there with, a bunch of people that's not on the team anymore. It's two people from that lineup, tight end and a tackle or guard. Out of everybody that was out there on the field, there's only two goddamn people that's out there now. So he was set up, and they continuously did that. But at the end of the day, this boy is going to rise. And if they would have just left him alone and red-shirted him and say he's not going to play, we wouldn't be here now. But because they wanted to ridicule and they wanted to, basically taunt him and taunt his dad, now he's about to get out on the field and he's going to look better than he did. Everybody needs to face that. Sean Payton and Shedeur Sanders, together. All right, man, that would be crazy, yo. That would be crazy. And honestly, Shedeur Sanders deserves to be in a better goddamn organization. Double tap that screen, man. Type a 12 in the chat if you rock with Shedeur Sanders, man. You can type, shit. That would get y'all confused. Shout out to Jamal Weeks in the chat, man. Type a 12 in the chat if you rock with Shedeur Sanders. And I'm trying to tell you, man, it's going to be some explosion this week. Y'all think them people was excited in that goddamn stadium last week? Y'all about to see the roof come up off that joint. And this is all that owner, Jim Haslam. Man, Jim Haslam going to be in there so goddamn happy this weekend because the place is going to be lit. They're going to have to put a cap on top of that joint. And he going into a brand new stadium, $1 billion deal with $1 billion quarterback. Do y'all know what's about to happen? I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's about to be explosion. It's about to be madness. It's about to be mayhem in Cleveland. They finally got some mayhem in Cleveland. And guess what? They could be crazy if they want and trade Shedeur. Go ahead. Trade him. Did y'all see how the stadium lit up when he got in the game? Trying to tell y'all, man. Hey, listen. That is what you call superstar power. That's why Nike gave Shedeur that big-ass contract, that big-ass rookie contract. Double tap the screen, folks, when you come into the live, man. We're talking about Shedeur Sanders. We're talking about how can Dillon Gabriel, how can he recover from this, y'all? In the chat right now. Mac G, what's happening, man? I told you we was going to take Dillon out there. Thanks for the W. You already know, man. You already know. I told y'all, man. They were talking about he might get some playing time last week. For those of y'all that don't know, I had a live where I said that the birds was chirping, saying that if anything go wrong with Dillon Gabriel, if it's not a good game for him or not a good outing, it's going to be his last hurrah. And they tried to say that they was going to push Shedeur in the last 4 games, but that just wasn't sitting right, and it don't make no sense. The red shirt thing that they said they was trying to do don't make no sense. Dillon going to be back up QB in New Orleans in a year. I heard that shit, Jamal. That sound about good. If that, they gave up Dillon the week prior. They gave up on Dillon the week prior. What make you say that, Mac G? Because I ain't really privy to what you talking about. What makes you say that? Double tap that screen when you coming in live, y'all. We chopping it up. And we getting down to it. Great live right now. Double tap that screen. I see them going up. I see them numbers going up. Let's go. Double tap. Mac G said they gave up on Dillon last week. I mean, yeah, in so many words, because he should have came out. Shedeur should have started the next game, or they should have took him out in that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest, y'all. This boy is throwing 2-yard passes. And so, What does it tell you when Shador get in the game and throw it 17 times, his first time being on the field? It's almost like defense going to definitely have it out for Baby Prime. A lot of folks don't like him. Yeah, that's very much true, Raul. I agree. And they're going to blitz the hell out of him, and they should. Welcome to the NFL. He just had a welcome moment, but they're going to do the same thing. But guess what? He gets to prepare for it. You understand? That's the difference. They needed a reason to get him out of there. Shador hit his pops before Sunday, asking him to come to the game. He may be playing. I already know, and that's the shit that people heard. That's the shit that people heard. Those were the things that people was hearing that suggested that Shador Sanders was some kind of way going to get in the game, whether Dillon got hurt or not. If Dillon didn't get hurt, Dillon might not be hurt, y'all. We don't know. We don't know. But we do know they lie. We definitely know that. We do know that they lie. They lie a lot. They're going to disguise coverages a lot. Lots of simulated shit. Absolutely. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at him. They want him to feel confused. They're going to throw him NFL shit that he ain't never seen in his goddamn life. And the good thing about it is he got NFL coaches that got NFL experience, and Stefanski is out of the way. That's the best thing going. Double tap the screen as you get into the line, folks. I appreciate y'all. Let's run them numbers up to 35, 100. You know, let's get it. Dillon is not hurt. Mac G said Dillon ain't hurt. Alberto said they're gonna bring the blitz on Shador ass. They're gonna try to give him his second welcome in here. That's what they're gonna try to do. I can guarantee you that. It ain't no question about it. They're going to throw everything Shador has never seen at him, and he's gonna have to survive it. But I got a good damn feeling. That it ain't gonna work. He's definitely gonna look better than he did last week. I don't see him taking those sacks. He got sacked twice. Dillon Gabriel got sacked 6 goddamn times in the first half. Alright? So don't forget that. You know, a lot of people was talking, oh man, Shador look like this, Shador look like that. But don't forget that Dillon Gabriel had 7 passes for 62 yards. That's not really impressive. Shador could have threw the ball one more time and had the same amount of yards, even though it took Shador a lot more time. But like I said, this man is playing for the very first time the second half of the game. People are already tired. People have already been hurt. They lost some actual, I think they lost either 1 or 2 linemen maybe 1 lineman last game and a lineman this game before Shador got in the game in the first half. So he was down 2 linemen coming into the game. Man, shit. He was up against a lot. Jason Jones, what's happening with you in the chat? No one is talking about how much time he had to throw. 1.5 seconds. That's what Jason said. Mac G said Shador had no reps at all with them, and he will get them all week finally. Yeah, it's all on him this week. Any QB would struggle, Jason Jones says. Alberto says 1.5 seconds is on par with the average of the league or close to it. Nobody is getting 2 seconds or more regularly. Nah, you got to have extremely good blocking to get 2 seconds. That's without a doubt. So the game speed has to be seen with the eyes. He's seeing how fast they move now. You know what I'm saying? He's seeing, and he's only experienced it for a half, y'all. Don't forget that. So I don't expect Shador to go to practice this week and fix every goddamn thing that he got going on that's wrong. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying? But what I do expect is for him to come out here and look 100 times better than last week. My man said, scroll up, bro. Mine's going to make you laugh. Dillon going to be backup QB in New Orleans in a year. Ooh, I got to go further than that. Did I read that shit already? I must have missed it, dog. But yeah, man, that's what it is. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's about to be electricity in Cleveland, and they did it to their goddamn self. I wonder how they're gonna undo this shit. That's my question. How is Cleveland gonna fuck this up? Because Cleveland is fuck ups. That's what I come to the conclusion of. They are real fuckers, man. Double tap that screen if Cleveland are true fuck ups. God damn. They know how to fuck some shit up. So now they got something good going on, and I just can't see how these motherfuckers gonna let that shit happen. That's how dumb they are. How is Cleveland gonna fuck up? Because your defense is knocked down. We know that if Shador can keep the offense on the field, and they got to use that run game. They can't expect Shador Sanders to come in the game, and then all of a sudden they got motherfucking Joe Montana with John Elway, and you know what I'm saying? Like, still run the ball, make it a fucking scheme. But you can do a lot more with that. Cleveland got a nice ass running back. Them motherfuckers got me. That's how much I rock with this boy. But they got a hell of a running back, right? And Jenkins. Man, they got some shit going on. How come no one will ask Stefanski the hard questions? Hold him to the fire. What's the hard question, Jay? Talk to me. Double tap that screen, folks. Let's get some more people in the chat, man. Let's run it up to 100 real quick. And if we get to 100, shit, we on our way to 200. Let's go. Double tap that screen. Share this live, man. If you got somebody who like to debate and they want to talk about it, let me share it with somebody. Shit. Matter of fact, let me share it with somebody while I'm talking. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it. Sampson is decent as well for dump off to help Shador out. Yeah, ain't no question. Ain't no question about it. They got a nice little running game. You mix that shit up with Shador and do that read option type of shit, man. Come on, man. Yeah, bro. Mine aren't going through anymore. I'ma still rock with you though. Nah, I can see your shit. Are you going to give Shador the same grace as you give Gabriel? Man, I ain't give Gabriel no damn grace. Well, you talking about the organization? Man, as soon as I seen him, man, I seen the arm was candy, and that's why they was throwing them little ass passes. I seen passes falling down and shit. That last touchdown pass that he threw to, I think it was Jerry Jeudy. Man, that ball was. He had to run backwards to get it. He had to spin around to the side. Double tap the screen, folks. We live. Cleveland Browns fiasco with Dillon Gabriel. Can he get back in the driver's seat? I just don't see a way that it can happen. Yeah, they need to give Shador the same grace. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you talking about redshirting this boy for the whole year. For what? Because you just want to? Because Gabriel ain't showing shit else. That's some irresponsible shit. Now, if I'm your owner, right? If I'm the owner, man, listen, I'm pissed off. I'm trying to win games. Or are they trying to win games? You know what I'm saying? That's the other question. Jason, talk to me in the chat, man. What the hell is this man thinking? And now everybody in sports is calling his ass out. Everybody in sports is calling him out. So, you got a couple people capping for him, but like I said, Dan Orlovsky, if y'all know who Dan Orlovsky is, this dude basically capped. He capped for Stefanski. But what I found out is Dillon Gabriel, Kevin Stefanski, and Dan Orlovsky all got the same goddamn agent. And now people starting to talk about that. But when Cam Newton set the shit straight, you know, Dan Orlovsky couldn't even argue with him. He was like, man, you know what, Cam, I'm with you. Gabriel had guys wide open, and he still held the ball for a sack multiple times. Yeah, no bullshit. Now, I seen Shador do that shit one time, too. I ain't gonna bullshit. I saw him do that one time. But the pocket collapsed on him so goddamn fast that he might not have had, you know, he might have had to run for cover before he could even see that shit. Yeah, Gabriel definitely, man, he played like shit. You know, he was 7 for 10. 7 for 6 fucking yards. 60 yards. That ain't shit. You may as well just hand the ball off, man. That's what Dillon did. And people talking about Dillon had him up. Dillon had him up. I'm like, yo, Dillon handed the ball off. I don't know why the hell they should have. They had the lead with Shador playing. Why not keep running? So y'all understand that in my mind, I don't give a fuck if it's Madden. I'm not going to switch up the run when I got the lead. I'm running the ball. So they trusted Shador a lot. They trusted Shador a lot, and they trust Shador a lot more from what I saw. The plays and the throws that I saw them let pull off. They don't trust Dillon Gabriel like that. They know what man. They want him to go to the check down. Every time. Double tap that screen, folks. Yeah, Gabriel definitely had people wide open, man. He definitely had people wide open. But also, let's talk about Shador in the locker room, y'all. This is one thing that I have been waiting to say on this live, and y'all gonna feel me when y'all hear this. When I hear Shador Sanders go into the locker room and the way he talked to the press and the accountability that he took in the locker room to put everything on his shoulders, there was no question as to what his projection was or what he was trying to say. He took everything on his shoulders. He only played a half of the game. And this is where you know a leader is in the building. This is when you know that the locker room is going to rally behind this boy because of the way he approaches the game and the way that he approaches the the post-game press. Man, he was so graceful in saying, this is on me. I'm taking this and yada. I never heard him say anything other than I, me, myself, me. I have to. If I can get us into a rhythm, then I know that we can win. And I know that we can take it to another level. I know that, you know what I'm saying? And I went to listen to a Dillon Gabriel post-game interview, and I promise you, he uses the word I, but only after he says he's got to be the one. It starts with him. He says, we have to do better. We have to do this. We have to do that, and we have to find a way to win the game. And I know that all starts with me. I ain't ragging Dillon Gabriel, but I'm telling you, go and listen to any interview that Dillon Gabriel has ever done, and he has never taken accountability to be the leader and to stand up and take all criticism, anything that didn't happen on him. I have never heard him do that. I've never heard that he went and addressed the team, the whole team by himself. Shador Sanders did that. So that's what a leader look like, and that's what a leader act like. And trust me, I know that they don't know what the fuck winner is, but Shador Sanders is showing these dudes that that's what it is. Mac G says the game was tight with Gabriel in because the Ravens made bad plays against the defense and special teams, not Dillon. Absolutely. Ain't no question about it. Ain't no question about it, bro. I watched, the whole thing. That's exactly what the hell happened. But it seems like to me they knew that you cannot sustain a lead with a quarterback that's playing the way Gabriel is playing. Double tap that screen, folks. If you just came in this live, man, double tap that screen. We getting it in. Let's run these numbers up. Run them up. Run them up. Keep on double tapping. Mac G said, yeah. Yeah, the game was definitely not tight because of Dillon Gabriel. The game was tight because they was going away from Dillon Gabriel. They was running the goddamn ball. And that's the thing I noticed. I'm sitting here like, damn, they throwing the ball a lot for having a guy who's never been in. And, like, at the time when Shador went in, I didn't know the extent to how ill-prepared he was. But once I heard him say, man, that was awesome to take a snap from Poe. Oh, man, that was awesome to throw to Judy. Like, I want a relationship with him. I'm sitting here like, what? Oh, they really had this dude. You know what I'm saying? They really ain't let this dude do nothing. But it's the perfect timing, man. It's now the perfect timing. And man, listen, that shit rings so true. That song rings so true. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this time right now, that song gonna mean a lot. That song already go platinum. That's already to be viral on every platform, man. I'm trying to tell you for the simple fact that this Sunday, y'all seen how them people was acting in that goddamn stadium. Man, they about to tear this goddamn place down. This is like MJ. Listen, this shit is like Michael Jordan going to the Chicago Bulls and getting sat on the bench, and they knowing that they got somebody that's like a MJ coming, but even though it's MJ, they don't know it's MJ yet. But they knew in college that Michael Jordan was a dog. So when he went to the Chicago Bulls, you goddamn right, they wanted him playing. And this is the same thing with the Cleveland Browns fans. At the time, people didn't even know Chicago had a team. I had never heard of the Bulls before Michael Jordan. The Cleveland Browns are almost like that now. Vern J, shout out to you in the chat. Shout out to my homie in the chat. Merlin in the house. But yeah, these guys who poked the bear and kept saying he's this and he's that, man, y'all about to see Sunday. It might not look like Joe Montana. It might not look like, you know, what's his name? For the Bills, Josh Allen. It might not look like that just yet. But you best believe it's not gonna look like what it looked like last week. That is for a fact. Shador Sanders' time has come. And that might have been some shit that they should have just left alone. If they had just red-shirted them, you know, they could have pulled this little move right here. This very little move right here. They could have pulled this little move. But because they got caught up in something else, now the boogeyman done appeared. The boogeyman done appeared. And they got to deal with it. They got to deal with it. So, I would anticipate this week, man, that, what's his name? Tommy Reese. Tommy Reese won a good job next year. This is the perfect game for Shador. They got dogs on D, but they have no offense, which will give Shador a good shot to pull off his first W. Man, shout out to Mac G in the chat, man. You already know, man. You already know. Vern J21 says Shador has a whole week to prepare. He'll do well. Man, you already know. You already know, man. Double tap that screen, Vern. Double tap that screen, man. We need all the likes we can. We're trying to get that algorithm moving so we can get more people in this chat. But, yeah, man. What I see is a very bright future. And like I said, they induced it by being haters, by being deliberately, you know, people are asking questions. Stephen A. Smith said, man, listen, if this was a normal situation because Orlovsky was basically saying, I don't think that, I don't think that Stefanski is trying to deliberately ruin Shador or make it a hard time for Shador. I think that that's a little bit over the top to say. And Stephen A. Smith said, man, listen, I could say that, yeah, it's not a big deal, but the fact that all of this shit is coming out and the way you got this man ill prepared is not sounding good. This is looking like it's deliberate. And so if it's being done deliberately, which obviously if you said you was going to redshirt him, then it was being done deliberately, but something had to happen because you said you was going to redshirt him, and then y'all sent Joe Flacco to a goddamn rival, which was stupid. And then you sent, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all doing? Shador, Cleveland media was lit when they interviewed SS today. Damn, I ain't even look. I gotta go. I know they was lit. Do y'all do double tight end setups? Man, Cleveland is not my team, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they do or not. But I gotta go check out. Hey, Charmaine, shout out to you, Charmaine. What's going on? Brad J, you terrible. But yeah, man, it's going down in Cleveland this weekend, man. It's gonna be, man. Listen, they might well go ahead and put out, and they playing in Las Vegas though, right? That's still a great place to get your first win. That's a great place to get your first win, man. Shit, y'all, we've been on here just over an hour, man, and time is winding down. I'm going to go for about 5 more minutes because I got a couple more points I want to make, but we getting ready to wrap it up, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share this video, man, because we do this shit like every day, multiple times a day, and especially when I go and check out this news media clips, I come back with some more info to drop on the chat. And that's how we do it here, man. So one thing you got to know is that this did not have to happen like this. You know, and the sad thing is this, y'all. When it's all said and done and we roll back to Dillon Gabriel, man, this going to bother him a lot. You know, I don't know. Shit, he might not even want to do this shit no more. Because the way that they played with him is no different than the way they played with Shador Sanders. They played with Dillon Gabriel, and they made him a pawn in a situation that he really had nothing to do with. He could have had a smooth backup career, lifestyle, just transitioning into the NFL like he was, but instead he got thrown into a fire with a superstar that his personality and his character don't match up with. Shador Sanders is too big of a megalithic superstar. This boy got Beyonce type following. This boy got what's her name? Taylor Swift type numbers when it comes to social media. So he way bigger than Deion Sanders. Appreciate this platform, dog. Yeah, shout out to you, man. You already know I appreciate you too. Anyone know what's the line on the game? I don't know. I could tell you though. He said no swinging Mackey. +3.5 Cleveland. Damn! Listen, y'all. Listen. Hey, man. We might not never hear that shit no more again. Or we might not never hear Cleveland being an underdog again. I mean, obviously it depends on who they playing, but that's something right there, man. I don't know. You gotta watch Vegas though. You got to watch Vegas. It's D snitches. Raiders are actually favored. That's crazy. Okay, the Raiders. I read that shit wrong. Yeah, the Raiders are favored. Okay, they're giving Cleveland 3.5. Yeah, man. So the Raiders are favored. I'm putting my money on Shador though. You know, that's how you get that money. That plus money is that yeah. That's how you get that money. But at any rate, man, I got a feeling that this is a good chance for Shador to win a game. Now, even if he don't win the game, he's got to look 100 times better than last week. At least 50 times better. You know what I'm saying? He's got to look half as good as last week. I don't think he looked bad last week. I just think the circumstances call for, Ravens got that rock'em and sock'em defense, man. And I don't think the Raiders defense is too bad either. They don't have a bad defense. Double tap that screen, he'll look better and more prepared. Ain't no question. Ain't no question. I got to go. My girl Charmaine just told me I need to go and look at the Cleveland media for today. She said it was lit. So I already know that once I go and check that out, man, it's Shador mania. Gino was trash. The only way they lose, Shador is turning the ball over. Okay. Well, we know that is part of the deal that he can't look that bad. I wish he wouldn't have got his first pick on his first game because that's no good. That's not what you want. You want to get away from that. I appreciate you, Charmaine. You want to get away from that. You definitely want to get away from that. But at any rate, I'm very excited for the game Sunday. Guess what? I'm going to be watching the Cleveland Browns once again. I can't believe this shit. The Cleveland Browns must got a superstar on their team because it ain't no damn way that I have ever tuned in to watch the Cleveland Browns, not even when they was good. You know what I'm saying? My man Ernie Johnson said he wanted Deshaun Watson back, though. Shout out to Ernie Johnson in the chat. I definitely appreciate you. He brought a lot of insight and a different scope to look through because, I ain't gonna lie, I forget about Deshaun Watson sometimes. But he's still a factor. It seems like he's irrelevant and he's never going to play with Cleveland again, but it's some fans of Cleveland that seem to think that some kind of way Deshaun Watson might end up back on the active roster and he might be a quarterback once again. So I don't know, man. That would be a very interesting turn of events. But I believe that once Shador get out there, it's his to have. It's D. Snitcher said, if the team couldn't be energetic about him playing QB as the crowd was last week, like what's really going on in Cleveland? You said the team wasn't ecstatic? He said that the team couldn't be energetic about him playing. I think they was. I don't think the team was, like they wasn't feeling him playing. I don't know what you're reading. When you see Shador Sanders, like everybody on the team, like that's what I'm saying. Like why Gabriel? They never rallied around Gabriel, bro. Never, ever. They never rallied around Dillon Gabriel. But we saw in the preseason that they rallied. They was already rallying around Shador Sanders, and he was already moving like a leader. Just like I said, when Shador Sanders did his press conference, that man ain't never say. He never ever said we. You listen to any Dillon Gabriel press conference, post game press conference, that's all he says is we. We got to do better. We got to do this, and we got to find ways to do this, and we got to find. Now, when you're saying we, I don't know if you're talking about me and the coaching staff, you're talking about me and the team, but you're not talking about just you. You're talking about some other people and possibly you too. He got sacked. Nobody helped. He sat on the side. He sat on the sideline after the game, and no one came to pick him up. What was you watching? That's not true. That's what they showed. They ain't showed Shador Sanders sitting on the bench from far away. They showed when he was sitting by himself. They brought that to the screen, bro. You got to know something about TV, man. They can make a row of 7 people look like 700 people in a TV audience, bruh. Cut me loose with the bull. They know how to broadcast when nobody's standing next to them, bruh. Don't believe that nobody can soul Shedeur Sanders. I saw people. You saw what you wanted to see, bruh, but trust and believe me, you tripping. And from what I hear from a good source of mine, the team was lit today in the press. These snitches. You might want to go and look at the press conference and see. And if you think nobody likes Shedeur Sanders, I tell you, all you gotta do is go and look at Myles Garrett, and the rest of the team don't matter, cause he is the head honcho on that team right now. He the biggest, highest paid, and the most detailed. And he loves Shedeur Sanders. And he been one of Shedeur Sanders on the sideline. Why you think he out there slamming his goddamn helmet on the ground? He ain't slamming his helmet because he wanted 6 sacks. He's slamming his helmet because he wants to win. He knows that Dillon Gabriel gives him a less of a chance to win the game. So you gotta know how to read what's going on, man. I'm hearing the team was lit today. Go watch. Yeah, Sean. When that soon as I get up off this live, we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and probably make some more videos, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that y'all understand that it's something happening in Cleveland and it's not Dillon Gabriel. This ain't no knock to Dillon Gabriel, but we tired of seeing mediocre, you know what I'm saying? You about the red shirt superstar and you wanna put QB1 title on mediocre. Y'all, that's some bullshit. I don't care what nobody says. It don't ring no bells. It's some bullshit. Period, point blank. It's not what you do. Now, if you're trying to lose, just say you're trying to lose. But don't act like this is the best choice to win. That's the shit I'm talking about. And have somebody else feeling like they ain't good enough because you out here on some bullshit, not trying to win, but at the same time saying that it's going to be a competition, a fair competition between all the quarterbacks, but you already declared that you was going to redshirt this man for the year. So this is what I need people to know, that Kevin Stefanski is a lying individual. And I don't mean no harm. I ain't lying to no goddamn body. I ain't lying to no damn body. Not about no damn sports. It's going to have to be some shit that's going to get me locked up or in jail for me lying. I lie like a motherfucker then. Vern J21 says, if Shedeur pulls a win Sunday, it'll be 30 years since a rookie QB won a Browns game. Crazy. Who was that? Bernie Kosar was the last one to do it? I mean, Dillon Gabriel won a goddamn game. Sorry as shit. Yeah, he won one game. Because they only won 2. Joe Flacco won 1 and he won 1. But trust and believe that, like I say, it's going to be a win for Shedeur anyway because he's going to look better. And people going to have to shut the fuck up. You know, it's going to be people that jump on here and say, but they still lost. Eric Zaire? Who the hell is that? Okay, a rookie debut. I got you. And that's big. That's big. Because his debut was his first time being seen, but his starting debut. He ain't started no games. So this gonna be, man, this gonna be one for the book. I tell you what, this shit right here is gonna be history in the making. You know what I'm saying? Get your popcorn and keep the cameras rolling, because this shit right here is going to be one for the books. The Cleveland Browns ain't never in their life had this many people watching, seeing what's going to happen. The Cleveland Browns ain't never in their life had this many goddamn people rooting for them that's not fans. I'm not even a fan and I'm rooting for Cleveland. I'm rooting for Shador. So if Shador on Cleveland, then guess what? That's who the hell I'm rooting for. That's who I'm rooting for. But you can best believe this. This a firestorm that they should have left well alone if they didn't want it to turn into a goddamn, a real goddamn fire. They did Dillon Gabriel the way they did him. I don't know why they did him like that. Man, I got so many people laughing about this goddamn picture online. I swear to God, every time somebody see this joint, they be like, man, listen, I am dying over here at this picture right here. Man, I found this picture online, like, back when Dillon Gabriel first, when they first started saying that this dude is small. I know he going to do good. He ready. Asking God guide his footsteps and arms. Now, I don't know about all that. All I know is this. The world about to get some heat. I don't expect for it to be it don't have to be a drop dead game. You know what I'm saying? But it got to be, I saw enough last week. They tripping off my Dillon Gabriel picture. Yeah, man, that's Lord Dillon in training camp. He snapped the flick. But the guy is small, man. Shador Sanders don't have to run around. He can stand up in the pocket tall. Dillon Gabriel, man, he got to do a whole lot of running around and jumping around and doing all this and that. And that just, it ain't going to get it done. Man, I definitely really appreciate my chat, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Double tap that screen that you just got out here. And you haven't done so far, man. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We definitely do this shit like every day. Jim Haslam. I'm telling you, Jim Haslam, that man about to lose his mind. Make the O-line look better than DG is a must. The O-line gonna block. They're gonna block for Shador. The team is way behind Shador more than that, I never seen or felt like the team was ever behind Dillon Gabriel. I just felt like they were dealing with some shit that they had to deal with. Period. They didn't want to deal with no goddamn Dillon Gabriel. And he not the worst. He actually started looking better, and you will look better. But he's looking better at a snail's pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not looking better at like, oh, you see the progression. You see the progression. He just threw 6 passes, 7 passes for 62 yards. Come on, man. I can count. They let Shador Sanders throw the ball 16 goddamn times, but let Dillon Gabriel throw it 7. So in my mind, yeah, that was the final straw to let me know that they don't respect Dillon Gabriel's arm. And they respect Shador's arm, and they respect his arm talent a whole lot more than what they do Dillon Gabriel. And that rings bells. That shit right there rings bells. You can't miss that. I see the little check down shit that they letting Dillon Gabriel do. They not letting him do nothing really. They letting this boy throw little small passes. He's a little small person throwing little small passes. That's it. And the sad thing about Dillon Gabriel, when Shador spoke up for Dillon Gabriel in the press conference, man, that's what a leader does. Dillon Gabriel ain't never one time speak up for Shador and say, hey, man, y'all need to lay off Shador because I see this shit, yada, yada, yada. But Shador spoke up for him like that. And I'm telling you, That kind of shit right there. Me. It was on me. I did it. That's what a leader does, and that's why the team gonna rally for him. That's why the fucking team is gonna rally for him. You know what I'm saying? Not because he's Deion Sanders' son. People that think that shit, you just got a complex and an insecurity with Deion Sanders and rich people. I don't know. But him being rich and being somewhat, it might look arrogant because he can go and buy a fucking expensive watch. But when a person tell you that I told Joe Flacco that I would clean out his locker every day, anything Joe need, all he got to do is tell me and I'm going to do it. If Joe want me to go get his ass a cup of Joe, I'm going to do it. You understand that that kind of kid is being raised the right way. He being raised the right way. Deion Sanders is showing not only is he being raised the right way, but he's being coached the right way. And parenting is coaching. If you didn't know, it's the same goddamn thing. But there's a lot of people that's unjustly mad at Deion Sanders, man. That shit is a real shame, and it's fortune for people to have that much hatred for a man that don't even play the sport no more. And what the hell did Deion Sanders do to anybody other than be some shit that we're still mesmerized by as far as his playing talent? Because we ain't really seen shit like that yet. We have not seen anything close to what Deion Sanders was in the National Football League and the Major League Baseball. We ain't seen nothing like it. Bo Jackson was the closest thing, but Bo Jackson got, he got shut down early. Other than that, Bo Jackson was really the same type of talent. But you ain't seen shit close to Deion Sanders since. And they know that shit. So when his son came, we're going to ruffle his goddamn feathers. But now look what they done. And really, the NFL got kind of, what the fuck can they say now? I don't know. But I don't think that it was wanted for him to play this year at all. But due to a lot of stupid ass moves that the Cleveland Browns made, now you ain't got no choice. The hell you gonna do? Going to the Wildcat? You don't even have another quarterback. And you were talking about Bailey Zappi. You mad? What if Shador get hurt? Who the fuck gonna play quarterback then? You know what I'm saying? So we still talking about organizational malpractice. I'm going to use that word because I done heard that shit so many times this week based on what the Cleveland Browns are doing. That shit is ridiculous. Organizational malpractice. That's what's going on. So nobody need to be jumping in the chat talking about this is normal, so what, let him get the reps. Or he don't need no reps. Nah, that's not true. Not according to Shannon Sharp. Not according to Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? Only according to Dan Orlovsky, who got the same goddamn agent as Dillon Gabriel and Kevin Stefanski. So that shit needs to be known. That a lot of people that's caping and Rex Ryan, oh man, I'm going to do a whole video on Rex Ryan, fat ass. I'm going to do a whole video on him. My next live that I do is going to be about Rex Ryan. I just got to go and get some facts. I already got enough to fry his fat ass. But Rex Ryan has got to be the next guy that's got to get talked about because he, among many, is one of the big-time critics of Deion Sanders as well as Shador Sanders now. So he's obviously got a real stick in the mud for Shador Sanders and anybody Sanders. You know, because I heard him, he spoke on Shiloh. Anything Deion Sanders, anything that has to do with primetime or the heirs of primetime, Rex Ryan has a really, really fat-ass time with it. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, I'm gonna have to address him because he going way above and beyond to have his mouth in the business of Shador Sanders. I mean, again, he's an analyst, so he's entitled to it. But people are also entitled to combat the bullshit that he's talking. Rex is pork chops. Rex is pork chops and chunky. Man, that's mean. Hey, when you're outside on the edge or in between, pork chops for chunky. Man, that's mean. Yeah, this broadcast is brought to you by Pork Chops for Chunky, and you know we're gonna combat dudes like Rex Ryan who want to jump and talk crazy about young prime time, and I just feel that it's coming from a bad place. You know what I'm saying? He really don't have nothing to do with it, but he always got his mouth in it, and he's kind of like the fucking jail warden. He looked like a fat jail warden who you know always got some shit to say. Like I've heard him say things that wasn't true. I've heard him say things like, "Well, Shador needs to be sitting at the front of the class and stop. He needs to be embarrassed that he's not the starting quarterback for this team." What the fuck he need to be embarrassed about? Like who are you to say that Shador Sanders need to be embarrassed that he's not the starter for this team? He should not. Clarence Shannon said, or Shannon Clarence, whatever it is, he should not talk because he is a bad coach himself, aka cornbread. Yeah, that part, y'all. I can appreciate different opinions, but it's other agendas out here to distort the truth. Ain't no question about it. Rex Ryan been lying from the jump. He said that Shador Sanders needs to come to the front of the quarterback room and pay attention to the film strip and pay attention. He needs to be a advocate for paying attention in the quarterback room. And then they showed pictures, multiple pictures of Shador Sanders in the quarterback room in the front of the quarterback room. So it just goes to show that people like Rex Ryan, fat ass, is going to spew out shit that's not true. And he's going to say shit that has no validity, you know what I'm saying? No truth to it. And if you believe in TV and shit like that, then you're just going to have to believe it. But Rex Ryan is not a truth teller, obviously, because I done heard this dude lie on multiple occasions. Double tap the screen if you just got in the chat, or if you are on your PC or laptop, hit that like button. I appreciate it. It definitely drives traffic to the discussion, and we need all of the traffic that we can get, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, this dude is not the guy to be talking about nobody. When Mark Sanchez was his choice for a goddamn quarterback, one of the worst quarterbacks ever. He had his time, but he also known for a bunch of shit, and I think he just got into some shit where he stabbed somebody or he did something with a knife. But Mark Sanchez was his choice. Did Rex ever play football or he just coached? He's fat enough and big enough to have played, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's Buddy Ryan's younger brother. So maybe he just got into coaching because, you know, his brother. But I'm pretty sure I ain't never heard of him playing. Somebody do some Google search for me. Grand J. Charmaine, one of my good peoples. I don't know if Rex Ryan played or not, but I do know this. He need to shut the hell up when it comes to Shador Sanders, because he out of line. This guy right here is now going to be a happy camper because he at least got a chance to play to win. You know what I'm saying? Myles Garrett is going to be a lot happier with Shador Sanders as the QB1. And trust me when I tell y'all, this is it. We might not never see Dillon Gabriel at QB1 again. And don't y'all think Cleveland need to go ahead and get another goddamn quarterback? You gonna go into a game with one quarterback on the roster? Organizational malpractice. Man, somebody type that shit in the chat. Organizational malpractice. He is Buddy's son, a.k.a. So Rex Ryan, he's Buddy Ryan's son. Okay, so Rex Ryan, Buddy Ryan, but what's Rex Ryan's brother name? I always thought Rex Ryan was Buddy Ryan's brother. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, so he did play? Who did he play for? His fat ass did play. Yeah, I never knew he played, but whatever. Either way, man, he need to shut the hell up about Shedeur Sanders. Now, what we gonna do this Sunday, man? It's a good chance once I go and look at this news that Charmaine been telling me about. He talks like he was all pro. Rex Ryan did play football, or he just yeah, he said he talked like he was an all pro. He was not no damn all pro. The thing about Myles Garrett is when he took the money, instead of leaving to go to a better team, it kind of made me look at him a little differently. Okay, so you say he a real Cleveland dude then? Myles Garrett really, really rocked with Cleveland because he stayed. Is that what you trying to say? You look at him different? You look at him with a little more love now? Is that what you trying to tell me? Because he could have left. Or you saying he a goddamn fool for taking the money and staying? Talk to me, man. Or you saying he's a real Cleveland dude? Or he a fool? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. We'll tap that screen, folks. We got double tap that screen, man. Let's run it up. Let's run it up. I feel him for wanting to stay. Yeah, that's what's up. Miles back and forth to me. I mean, he had Gabriel playing, and they acting like Gabriel was the future. I'd be pissed off. You have to show your card. If you the man that's moving the needle in the room or on the record, and he is, you know what I'm saying? He the highest paid on the team. He's the captain of the defense, and the defense right now is the anchor of this team. So Myles Garrett is a dude who can shake some shit up. If he say some shit, yeah, niggas gotta go. Once you make a spot your home, bro don't really want to move around like that. Yeah, I feel you. And why should you? But you got dudes who make their career moving. They probably dudes who their mother used to stay in an apartment for a couple weeks, then move somewhere, then stay there for a year, then you gotta go to another school. You know, when you get to moving around like that as a kid, you move like that as an adult, man. There ain't no question. What's your predictions? If you're in the chat right now, we had a lot of people moving around. What's your predictions for Dillon Gabriel getting back at the QB1? I know most of y'all voice y'all opinion, but if you're new to the chat, you just got ahead, man. Let me know what y'all think. Does Dillon Gabriel, without Shedeur Sanders getting hurt, is his time up at QB1? Does he assume the position as the backup for the rest of his career? Because he ain't starting nowhere else, y'all. He's not starting no goddamn where else unless somebody's hurt. And nobody's going to plan for him to be the starter. I just ain't got that happening. I say he is the permanent backup. Dillon will be back up in Jacksonville. I think KS when DG is better, he is QB1. I think Kevin Stefanski says when Dillon is better, he is QB1. No, that's never going. What we're saying is this: the only way Dillon ever getting a shot back at QB1 is Shador look like he did last week, this week, or any week. He can never look like that again. Due to the conflict of interest with Kevin Stefanski, Dan O and Dillon are from the same agency. All right, but Sports Take Talk, what's cracking? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. I got to check your channel out if you got a channel. It seems like you do. So I'm going to have to look out for that. Depends on what 12 does this weekend. Exactly. That's my thing. If 12 play, Dillon done. I don't give a fuck what KS say. And the reason why is because KS really ain't in the driver's seat no more. If Tommy Reese is making the play calling, then Stefanski really ain't doing nothing because Tommy Reese was already substituting. So what the hell is Stefanski ain't doing nothing but calling timeouts and challenge flags. That's about it. His hands tied right now, and that's a great thing for Shador Sanders. If up to the coach, he back in there. If up to the coach, he is back in there, but I would like it, a.k.a. Cornbread. That's my man. Clarence, Stefanski is about to be demoted to offensive coordinator. I told y'all, that's basically what he is. He out the way, y'all. I'm just getting going, had to make a new page. Love you, bro. Man, I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you. I'm going to go over there and check you out. I'll definitely go over there and subscribe to your channel, man. Yes, sir. A.K.A. Cornbread. Man, hey, that's going to stick right there. Just like cornbread do stick. That's going to stick right there. If he wins this game, 49ers game, because it will be at home and the fans will come out and support. Man, he going to win. He ain't even got to win. He just got to look better than he did last week. He already looked better than Gabriel in one game. You know? The things that he did in the last game already dictate that he's better than Gabriel. Favor is not far, a.k.a. cornbread. You got to say cornbread in a country ass way. You can't just say cornbread. You got to say cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Can't be corn. Yeah, if he win, we ain't even got to talk about it. If the boy win, we ain't got to talk about it. But let's be real. All he got to do is look better than he did last week, and he going to be playing. Kevin Stefanski can't bring Dillon Gabriel back in. After we see a Shador prepped and ready, once we see what Shador look like prepped and ready, I don't think Gabriel ever gets a shot again. Yeah, a.k.a. Cornbread. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. I disagree. If he loses, KS is definitely throwing Dillon back in there. That's his guy. I think that's delinquent at this point. You know why? Pretty much what somebody just said in the chat that he's being demoted. He's already been demoted. He's already been taken off of play calling. And so if the person who was doing play calling when you got demoted is now the head coach, then what you doing? Nothing. You ain't doing shit. You just out there. And they know that he rogue. He's a rogue coach, man. Clarence said, this is my first time on your channel. How often you be on your channel and what time? Man, I'm on here all the time, man. If you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell like, bing! then you already know you gonna get the notification as to when I'm live, man. It might be 1 o'clock in the morning, it might be 12 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? Like I just go most of the time every day. But I need to get a schedule, and I'm sure I will develop a schedule. But at this point in time, man, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just broadcasting, man, because things happen at a time where the news need to be pushed out there, or something happens that dictates that it need to be put out there. Then exactly what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We putting it out there. I wasn't even supposed to be on it this long, but you know, when I got a decent chat and not no whole bunch of idiots, you know, they must be at work right now. A whole bunch of nerds. They must be at work right now. But yeah, a lot of times it be like some weirdos in this joint, man. Typing all type of weirdo shit. And so, yeah, I appreciate having a pretty much no nonsense, man. We really got down to some stuff, and we got let people voice their opinion without it being a blow up. And that's definitely how I want to, that's definitely where I want the chats to run like. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more quality chat, and I can see what's going on with the people. I can see what y'all think. Because a lot of y'all, you know, some of these people are from Cleveland. I ain't from Cleveland, but I'm very much interested in what's going to happen in the future with Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and, you know, even going into the stadium next year. Because I always said this. Jim Haslam ain't damn crazy. He might be stupid, but he ain't crazy. And crazy is when you trade a generational talent. Because, listen, his superstar talent is big enough to supersede anything Dillon Gabriel can bring to the table. They just wasted a whole lot of time and energy and months messing with a non-superstar when you could have, you know what I'm saying? You could have did what you do. You could have already been in superstar status, but nah. They want to play around and mess around with some goddamn Dillon Gabriel. But long story short, man, I'm about to end this chat, man. I done ran my course. I got to get back to work, get ready to cook some dinner and all that good stuff. And sometime a little later, when I get settled in the house, I will be back live again. Because once I watch this press conference, I want to show y'all what this excitement is bringing to the locker room, to the team, and I can guarantee you this: it ain't that same old ham sandwich that Dillon Gabriel was throwing. It ain't that same ham sandwich. Now they know that they got a shot. And when you give a team a reason to be enthusiastic about playing, and you give a team some enthusiasm about what's next, then you're going to see something, man. You're going to see a lot. You're going to see people playing for each other. You're going to see a team come together, and you're going to see some shit forged like steel. You're going to see people fighting for each other. And all this madness that was going on with Dillon Gabriel, and I hate to say it, you know, Dillon Gabriel got used, y'all. I made a live the other day. It said the joke's on Dillon. Because it is. The joke is on Dillon Gabriel. At the end of the day, even if they wanted to put Dillon Gabriel back in, or they tried to, or they named that it's already been put on Front Street that his talent does not supersede Shedeur Sanders. This man got one pass out of 184 passes. He threw 184 passes this season. One pass was 26 yards. One completed pass was 26 yards. He's not throwing a pass longer than 26 goddamn yards. I can throw a pass 26 yards on the money. I don't know about against NFL defense, but if you're an NFL quarterback, shouldn't you be able to throw against an NFL defense? Like, what is going on here? And so, you know, I blame the people that support it. Because if you support mediocrity, then you're just as mediocre, in my opinion. Let me see what the chat's talking about. And I'm from Miami, Florida, a.k.a. Cornbread. Yeah. Shout out to them in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. This is an awesome, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, maybe later on tonight, you know, when I'm out in the daytime, I'll do these YouTube chats, but I might get on StreamYard so I can actually have guests come on to the panel. And I can bring you on to the stage and we can actually chop up and, you know, sit down in the house like civilized folks. Chuck Howard, what's going on? Shout out to you in the chat, man. We've been on here for 106 minutes. Man, we've been on here for a minute now. Shit, we might as well go to 2 hours. That'll be 14 more minutes. But what's y'all expectations, man? What's your team? What's y'all team? Who is your team? Let me know that. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, man, you been here this long, you might as well subscribe to the channel. This is what we do each and every day. It ain't always the Cleveland Browns. It ain't always Shador Sanders. But it's definitely newsworthy or superstar, big story-worthy news. Let's just say that. I don't like to cover small news. I like to cover stuff that's, you know, everybody's talking about. Because everybody's talking about it, then guess what? We need to talk about it right here. You know, it need to be said. Sometimes it just need to be said. And this is the place where you say it. You need to hook up my old high school football team, Miami Northwestern Bulls, a.k.a. Cornbread. Okay, I'm going to do that. Clarence Shannon, I'm going to do that. He said the Miami Northwestern Bulls. Got you. Y'all must have did something legendary down there. But yeah, man. Long story short, man, I could go on all day. And I know sometimes that's how I get. Let me make sure I covered all my topics though. Whoever going to win me some money that weekend, aka Cornbread. Yeah, man. I just won me some money last weekend on a little 5-6 leg parlay. I can't remember, it was 5 or 6 legs. But that's actually what I'm about to go and do now, man. Double tap that screen if you just gotten alive, man. We've been talking about the Cleveland Browns. We've been on here for almost damn 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. And we got through a lot of topics. A lot of good topics. We got a lot of stuff out the way, and the understanding is lit. Shador Sanders got to play. It ain't got to be drop dead, but it got to be, you know, close to a winning effort. He gave him a chance last week, and that's all you can ask a quarterback to do, especially somebody that's coming off the bench in his circumstances. All you can do is ask them to give you a chance, and he did that. So with that being said, man, I see y'all a little bit later. We are going to talk about shit. I forgot. I said it already, but I had it written down and I don't have the notes. But I see y'all a little later, man. Peace.